equals 3 studios.
What's up, guys? So I was watching some TV with my 4-year-old niece, as you do, and she watches some weird stuff. And then I thought, were the shows I watched as a kid weird? Are all kid shows weird? Yep, but some are weirder than others, and we're gonna talk about those shows. Let's do this.
Number 10.
Doodah Yay! This is a show that 4-year-olds and 40-year-old men could enjoy. This show aired in the US in the early 90s, but was based on a series that started in Brazil and Latin America. The star of the show, Chucha, was a former Playboy model, and you can tell. She shot the show each week at CBS in front of a live audience of children, and she wore thigh highs and hooker boots. For the kids, of course. Chucha would play games, sing songs, and interview celebrity guests, all with the help of her little Paquitas. And Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist comedian who is not at all kid-friendly and has puppets of dead terrorists. That guy. Hot pants and dark comedy? I could get behind this show. At the end of the show, Chucha applies a fresh coat of lipstick and then chooses a kid from the audience to kiss. I mean, on the cheek, but still. All the dads in the audience are like, me, pick me. I mean, my kid, choose my child that I made with my wife, who is not here.
Number 9.
Harlem Globetrotters Popcorn Machine. A Harlem Globetrotters kid show? Talk about a slam dunk. It wasn't. Popcorn Machine was a live-action variety show in 1974, and it featured, you guessed it, the Harlem Globetrotters. Popcorn Machine only lasted 1 season. It went stale. The show was not a hit, and that was upsetting because the Globetrotters already had one failed animated kid show called Go Go Globetrotters. These names are terrible. I don't really know why they called it the Popcorn Machine in the first place, because I guess the stage they shot on was yellow, and there's popcorn at basketball games. I guess that's enough for a kid show. Maybe it's just because they started out with a kernel of a good idea. But the Globetrotters did not let 2 failures hold them back. They should have. But they didn't, because in 1979, they released another show called the Super Globetrotters, which also immediately failed.
Number 8.
Boomy! The show was a little cheap and a lot creepy. Boomy aired in the early 2000s and was a puppet show for toddlers that, get this, didn't use any puppets. How does a puppet show not have puppets? What did they use? Hey kids, my name is Ooby. Yep, they just used their hands and some tufts of hair and googly eyes. Like I said, it was a cheap ass show. Like if this show was a handbag, it would be like, okay, so they cheaped out on materials, but the script must have been pretty good then, right? Nope. These puppets didn't even use full sentences. They just said enough words to make themselves understood. I guess like toddlers. Be hungry. Me kill self. Yay! So what creeps me out is that none of these guys are wearing clothes. Like it's a good thing they don't show below the wrist. I feel like I could do a better job at a kid show. Instead of Ooby, we'll just call it Kelly. Convenient. My name's Kelly, this is my stupid show, and we're puppets fucking.
Number 7.
Vic's Vacant Lot. The concept for this show is sketchy and hilarious. Okay, so this random 50-year-old tennis guy, Vic Braden, would take a bunch of kids out to city streets or like abandoned construction lots and teach them how to play weird made-up sports games. Why is this not still on TV, you ask? They'd all be hanging out in an alley and then make up some like kick the can, bicycle polo hybrid game. You could have called this show like street sports that aren't really sports. Playing in the street with a 50-year-old man. Come play in the alley with Uncle Vic. So this show aired in 1982 and was canceled after only 6 episodes, probably because someone got tetanus or rabies or got hit by a car while playing in the street. Who wants to watch a show about kids playing in the street? Kids do that anyways, usually without 50-year-old men. Hey kid, want some candy? Yeah, after Vic's Vacant Lot was a failure, he created Vic's Vacant Van down by the river.
Number 6.
Booba! You guys know that show Teletubbies, right? Well, one of the creators of that show, Ann Wood, decided to create another show with weird blobby characters. Booba premiered in the UK in 2003 and features 5 furry gumdrop-like characters living in a magical glowing ball called the Booba. So then this Booba travels from country to country whenever children of the world call it. And then these little furry gumdrop guys have to recharge in this charging pod that is fueled by children's laughter. Teletubbies on acid. It's terrifying. It's like really freaking weird. Who would make a show this messed up? Anne would. Ha. None of these characters are talking. How are kids supposed to learn how to talk? I feel like it's kind of a cop-out when you gotta write a script for a show with no dialogue. It's so weird and creepy. I don't even know how you would describe an episode. It'd be like, okay, so in this episode, we're gonna get in a giant white ball and tickle some kids lightly, and then we're gonna do a dance and spin some more while people yell at us, and then there's more lights and spinning and yelling and eyes and alien noises. Drugs. Number 5. The Electric Company. Weird name for a kid show, but they all are. This show is Sesame Street's deadbeat, out-of-work brother. The Electric Company was created by the same people that did Sesame Street, and it first aired on PBS in 1971. It was meant for a slightly older audience and was a weird mashup of live people, puppets, and animated stories. And it had some super famous cast members, including Morgan Freeman and, wait for it, Bill Cosby. One of the weirdest parts of the show is the segment where Morgan Freeman narrates this guy in a Spider-Man suit while he runs around and mimes stuff on a cartoon background.
No dogs allowed. Who would do anything so cruel?
Freeman also had another character called Easy Reader, which was a hippie, junkie guy who was addicted to reading. Yeah, because I know lots of people who have sucked dick for books.
Number 4.
The Littlest Hobo. This show makes being a hobo seem fun. This is a Canadian series that first aired in 1963 and was based on an American film called The Littlest Hobo. So the show is about this little homeless German shepherd who goes around solving people's problems. And people always offer the dog a home, but at the end of each episode, he's like, nah, I'm good. And he just walks out into the open world of Hobodom. It's basically just like a stray dog doing good deeds and living on the street. And the song's really catchy. It really makes you want to be a hobo. Adrift in the world is my friend. I'm traveling down this road without end. Kind of makes me want to be a hobo. I mean, the song promotes being homeless. And a lot of actors actually got their start on this show. Like Mike Myers appeared on the show when he was 16 years old as Paraplegic Boy's friend. Hobo Dogs and Paraplegic Boys, they're legit kid show material.
Number 3.
VeggieTales! This show is weirdly religious. This show is about talking vegetables, and these talking vegetables promote Christian-themed stories and Bible tales. I wonder how they chose vegetables. Like, what does a tomato have to do with the Lord? VeggieTales was created in 1993 and debuted as an educational video series. It features animated characters Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber, and other friendly Christian veggies who live on the countertop. No, that's wrong. There was that one awkward episode where the tomato came out as a fruit. They have seeds on the inside. No, true story. I actually used to watch this show as a kid, and I had no idea it was religious. I was just like really into cucumbers, you know? Still am. Apparently not all versions of the show are religious. Like the original show ended with the words, "Now remember kids, God made you very special and he loves you very much." But when NBC picked up the series and it started airing in 2006, the show just ended with the simple words, "Goodbye." This pissed some people off because they were like, VeggieTales is about God. You can't change that. NBC was like, I'm pretty sure it's a show about a talking cucumber and a tomato. Good for you, NBC. Not everyone believes the same thing, but everyone can get behind a good salad.
Number 2.
HR Pufnstuf. This is a wacky show that promotes wacky tobacco. How did they get away with this title? HR Puff and Stuff? Like puffing stuff? Like weed? The ganja? It was created by Sid and Marty Krofft and originally aired on NBC in 1969. So this trippy show features a little boy named Jimmy who's trapped on this magical living island where basically everything can talk. Objects, plants, animals, you know, like they do when you're on drugs. This kid Jimmy, he's got a magical flute, but this bad guy on the island, Witchy Poo's always trying to steal the flute, and Jimmy is protected by the mayor of the island, HR Pufnstuf. You're with me, right? Good. So the show never officially says what HR stands for, but there's been speculation that it's hand-rolled. So hand-rolled Pufnstuf. The chorus to the show's theme song goes, HR Pufnstuf, who's your friend when times get rough? HR Pufnstuf, You can't do a little because you can't do enough. There's no way they can pretend they're not talking about drugs. HR Pufnstuf, you can't do a little because you can't do enough. How would you do enough of the mayor if that's really what the show is about? It sounds like they're talking about doing drugs. Weed is your friend and you can't do enough of it. Fun fact, the Crofts sued McDonald's. They said that the McDonald's characters, Grimace, Mayor McCheese, and the Hamburglar were rip-offs of HR Pufnstuf's characters. And the Crofts won. It makes sense on McDonald's part because what goes better with weed than a hamburger and some french fries and some intellectual property theft? I'm loving it.
Number 1.
E-I-E-I yoga. Didn't see that coming, did you? This show isn't just weird, it's super creepy. E-I-E-I Yoga was released direct to video in 1977 and is kind of like a weird mashup of Old MacDonald's farm and yoga poses. And on that farm we had some dark, dark, dark secrets. It features a questionable old man who's like 50 something and a farmer and a yoga guru. His name is Yogi Okie Dokie and he invites kids to his farm to teach them yoga, wearing mom jeans. Yoga is good, but an old dude breathing heavily and wearing tight pants and touching children to help them get into poses is creepy.
10 for 10.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Kid shows are really weird, so let's not watch them. How about you guys just watch me? I'm Kelly Landry, and you're smarter than you were.
Thank you for watching this Equals 3 Studios production. To watch another episode, click here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And now, I punch myself in the face. Ugh, ah! Well, that kind of hurt.